What's up, guys? Tuki here with a pretty informal video, and I don't really like making videos like this. I prefer to script things out because otherwise I feel like my points might not come across the way that I want them to. But anyway, I don't want to waste too much of your time here. As it is, I put up a video earlier today that might have caused some confusion. I think only 100 people or so saw it. Anyway, I want to clarify what's going on with the Red Wing series. Now, all this garbage aside, no excuse for me to not have uploaded the St. Louis Blues Fantasy Draft Series. That will be coming soon. I'm hoping to have 2 uploads on Tuesday and get back to, hopefully, those daily uploads as I love to do. But the Detroit series, I have a problem here. And I really want your feedback because, after all, this is your series. I wouldn't be doing these if you guys weren't watching the videos. So I want your opinion. I really do. So episode 4 is obviously the trade deadline. And I was going to, I hinted towards it in previous episodes that I was going to handle it in a different way to make it more challenging and to make it so that I can't just, decide or choose from teams that make it way too easy, and that way we get the prospects we need. Basically, I wanted to do it in a way that the trades weren't super beneficial to me, that it would actually take some work, and that we might not get exactly what we want in return for a player. Think of the Kevin Shattenkirk deal with Washington. Was that the best return they could have gotten? Probably not, but they had to settle, and that is what I was aiming for. So I had episode 4 all ready, good to go. I was going to have it up on Sunday. It took a little bit of extra time, and I was a little bit busy on Sunday too. And then it was going to go up today. And then right as I'm ready to make it public, this thought pops, a thought pops into my head that, in my opinion, is potentially a better way, an even better way than that, to go about it. So this is going to be a slight spoiler for episode 4 if I end up posting this version. Basically, my idea, and other people mentioned this in the comments too, so I don't know if it's an unoriginal idea or not. I don't really care either. I really don't. But it kind of confirmed what I was already thinking. So for trade deadline, for example, if we were to sell or trade away Henrik Zetterberg, right? My thought was we go through, and again, people mentioned this in the comments. You guys know who you are, so bravo to you for just confirming what I was thinking. We're selling Henrik Zetterberg. We look through the top 10 teams in the NHL. I take a look through and see what teams it would actually make sense for, what teams can afford it, right? So say with Zetterberg, we end up with 5 teams out of the top 10. We then take those 5 teams and use a random name selector off of Google, and whatever team that picks, that's who we have to trade Henrik Zetterberg to. That was the original idea. If we end up going with that, I'm not going to say anything else about how it went, but it resulted in a much different trade than what I was expecting. Now, that was the original idea. Challenging because it takes the control out of my hands. In that situation, if it was, I don't know, say if it was Tampa or trading him to Washington or trading him to New Jersey, whatever, whoever we trade him to. If that were to be the case, there might be like, oh, okay, you're trading him to the Devils. It's like, well, I'd much rather trade him to Boston because Boston has someone else I want. It takes that out of my hands and I have to settle, which was, of course, the point of the challenge. The second idea, though, and one that I feel would be better because of the level of interaction it would bring. Again, I do these series to entertain myself, it gives me something extra, something else to do in my free time, and also to entertain you guys. And, it's the fact that I still have, you look at the videos of the Detroit series, everyone's over 1,000 views. The fact that I can even entertain 1,000 people is ridiculous. It is. But that's why I want these series to be based around, your interaction. So that's where the second idea comes in. It's still based off the first idea. Say, again, trading Henrik Zetterberg, you have those 5 teams. But instead of randomly selecting one of those teams, The first step would be to look at what those 5 teams have to offer. Try to get the best offer possible. So on paper, say it's Henrik Zetterberg to Boston, we can get Frank Vatrano in a third. But then we also look at the Winnipeg Jets, and the Jets would give us, fuck if I know, Marco Dano in a first. But Philly would offer us Voracek or whatever. You get the point. So we'd look on paper, we'd look at those 5 teams, and see the best offer we could get from them. The next step would be to use that random selector. But instead of saying, okay, this is the one team you'd get to use, we would only pick 3 teams. Whatever random selector, or whatever that selector picked, 3 teams, the first 3 teams, whenever we hit the button, that's who it would be. Now let me explain that part. I figured that way it would be entertaining and it would take a bit of the easiness out of it, because 3 out of 5 teams, right? We looked at those 5 teams and it might be like, oh shit, yeah, let's go with Boston, Frank Vatrano in a second. But then it could also be like, oh, okay, well, Dallas is offering only a 3rd round pick. So when you use that selector, it could be like, oh, Dallas, Philly, and Pittsburgh, that Frank Vatrano deal is now off the table. Or it could be good luck and it could be like, yes, Dallas, we don't have to take that shitty offer from them. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying at this point. But that wouldn't be the last step. So first step, 5 teams, look at their offers. Step 2, reduce that to 3 teams. Step 3, you guys would pick what trade we should take between those 3 teams. And that interaction, that input from you, is what's prevented me from posting episode 4 in its current state. Because I really want to go that direction. And I really think it would add to this series tremendously. Herein lies the problem. I normally have a self-created backup file, and I use the backup files that the game creates itself. My backup file has disappeared, and the game-created backup files don't go far back enough for me to avoid the trades that I already made in the first recording of episode 4. Now you understand the problem. So the way I see it is we have 2 options here. Option A, I just post the video that I've already made. The trade deadline where it was, okay, random selection, and that period, end of story, is the team that we trade him to. And I could post that and we can move on and do the new idea where you guys pick what trade we make via poll. We could just do that in the future, right? No problem. Or option 2 is I restart the series. I try to make the same signings that I did, Pionk, Brickley, Drees. I try to get those same exact players. Obviously, the outcome and the outlook of the season would be a little bit different. We might not have the same record that we have. But that way, I sim up to the trade deadline, and we do the trade deadline in the way I just described, this newer idea of mine. The problem with that is I don't necessarily want to restart the series, because I don't want you guys to feel like you just watched 3 episodes for for absolutely no reason, because it'll be a little bit different in terms of what deals people have made, what signings people have made. What was it, Winnipeg that went crazy signing most of the NCAA free agents? I'm at an impasse here, guys, but that is why I'm making this video. I want your input. Let me know what I should do, what you would rather see. So again, I can post the first version of episode 4 in its current state, and we can handle the trade deadline or trades in the future in the same way that I'm describing. Okay, option 1, episode 4 goes up the way it is. Option 2, I restart and get us right back to the trade deadline. That's it. I want to know from you guys what you think we should do, and we'll decide how to approach trades at a later date. It's going to be one of those 2 options, either the completely random generator or the random generator with your input on a poll deciding what trade we take specifically. I hope this video came across in the proper way and that I wasn't rambling too much. I hope I was able to make my points clear and concise. But I've been stressing out about this all day, really, and why I didn't just make a video about it asking you guys directly what I should do earlier, I don't know. But anyways, guys, that is it for now. Let me know what you think we should do moving forward. Again, I can't thank you enough for the support. And this is just about me wanting to make this series as much about you as it is about me, you know, actually being the one that's hitting the buttons on the controller. That's pretty much all it is. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Regardless, we will have an upload tomorrow. Whether or not, or what direction the Detroit series takes from there, who knows, but we will find out. So I will catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you later.